Few truths about being a founder that you don't learn until you become one. And no one can teach you this shit. You just have to experience it. The first being learning how to set systems, no matter how small, how irrelevant they might seem, they will save you so much of headache and heartache. You will have to figure out your own management style. In fact, I'm reading a book that teaches the 6 different kinds of management styles, and I'm so happy to say that yes, I do employ quite a lot of them, but you have to keep switching between them no matter how difficult it may seem, because it depends on your team, on the situation, how people in your team actually respond to that management style. But one thing I can tell you, that being a people first manager can be a good and a bad thing. You just have to figure out the correct balance between the two, because at the end of the day, you are still the manager. But how do you lead with empathy? How do you lead with understanding without burning yourself out? Next, no two businesses are the same. Even if you are in the same industry, have the same offerings, it just doesn't matter, because how you run your business just is so subjective to you, which is why I think there is no right answer to this, nor is there one solution that fits every business style. I feel it again depends on the kind of person you are, the way you want to lead, and this freedom of figuring it out on your own is actually quite interesting, very, very challenging, and can also be extremely overwhelming, because what is the right answer? Sometimes I wish, why wouldn't someone just tell me the right answer so that I can focus on running my business? But this is part of the job. Figuring out what works best for your business in terms of team building, in terms of how you want to lead, in terms of how you want to develop it. Everything is so subjective, and yes, you can take enough courses, do an MBA, go to grad school, go to like business school, whatever, and you'll still have to pick permutations, combinations to figure out what works best for your business. And that is equal parts challenging, interesting, rewarding, and frustrating. Being a founder is also going to challenge you to become, hopefully, a better person, because I have lost all my patience, I've lost all my understanding, I have lost every empathetic bone in me on some days, because I've just had it. And I feel like people who can learn how to kind of channel that in an interesting and in a more fruitful way really do come out as better leaders or better founders, which ultimately affects your whole business. And most of the times, this is not a fun experience in any way, shape, or form. Being a founder means you always have to be the bigger person in many different ways, because ultimately it's not, in my opinion, it's not about you, it's about what's best for the business. So if you think that, okay, if someone else's idea, strategy, way of going ahead is better than yours, you need to take it and swallow your ego, because it's not about you. It's about your business, and your business is not you. Your business is bigger than you. It's actually so much more bigger than you. So I definitely think that being a founder really teaches you so many more things that they don't teach you. Okay, I didn't read about this, of how it's going to be such a frustrating experience, and I'm not being ungrateful, but there is like two truths can exist at the same time. In the first 2-3 years of your business, you're going to be working 24/7 constantly. In fact, all the stories that we see about a business being successful, for most part, we're seeing it in their 7th or 8th year of business. We're not seeing it in the first 2-3 years of business. So this idea that your business needs to be overnight successful, or it needs to suddenly blow up, is honestly harming you, your mental health, and your business so much more than you can even imagine. And finally, it is an extremely rewarding experience. Let me not take that away at all. If you look at it from a perspective of I get to do this in place of I have to do this. Like, I mean, if you're starting your own business, no one's like put this on your head, right? This is something that you're doing once a day. And finally, every day is going to challenge you to learn something new, something you don't want to learn. And while other people get the opportunity to say that mujhe ye nahi karna hai, which is great, as a founder, you just don't get that option. And I think that's fine, that's part of the job. So when you do decide to ever start something of your own, there is no out. You have to do all of it, whether you like it or not. It's like, it's literally your baby, right? It's like you have to go to your kids' training at 6 a.m. in the morning. You're not training. Why do you have to wake up? But that's what you're doing because you love your kid, because you want to do this for them. And that's literally this.